What's happening in China by the Chinese Communist Party. Join me now to discuss this and a bit more, Congressman Greg Murphy, who serves on several House committees, including the Ways and Means Committee. He represents the 3rd Congressional District of North Carolina and tracks what's happening with Communist China very closely. Dr. Murphy, welcome back to Washington Watch. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon, Tony. Thank you for having me.
So I know a lot of focus right now when it comes to China is on the trade standoff with the U.S., but what deserves, I think, more attention, and it is connected, that is their hostility toward Christian churches there and pastors. We've seen a pretty significant crackdown in the last 5 days.
Yeah, you know, Tony, this is happening worldwide. I mean, the Islamic terrorists are doing it, as we pointed out. In other countries, we know that the Syrians are doing it against the Druze, but Christians are really being attacked worldwide, killed worldwide, and it's tragic. I mean, we are the most peace-loving people, you know, one of the most peace-loving people in the world, and it's a threat to them. It's a threat to them, and especially to the Chinese who live in a godless or promote a godless society, that you have Christians that are actively practicing their faith, or even sometimes having to do it in hiding. But it's a threat to them, and the Chinese wish to eliminate any threat possible.
How do we connect our trade policy with a respect for religious freedom and the right to be able to practice your faith? I mean, as we negotiate with China over trade, should this not be a part of it?
Absolutely, Tony, but I fear, and you know, I'm a surgeon, I'm more of I live in the real world of difficult things. I fear China doesn't give a damn. They don't care about the human rights abuses that they've done with the Uyghur, the forced harvesting that they do on prisoners where they basically kill them to get their organs. It's really hard to crack a mentality of a society that does not value life. They value their one world collective mission to basically take over the world. But the fact that they don't value individual life is really hard to make any type of a parlay with when you don't have the same morality structure.
It is. You bring up this issue of they're actually doing an industry of having people come to their country for body part replacements, for organ transfer. I mean, this is unbelievable that they're actually taking their political opponents and they're taking their body parts obviously without their permission, and they're making an industry out of it.
Yeah, and this is well documented, Tony. This is nothing they can deny all they want to. This is very, very well documented that this organ harvesting occurs. I see it in some of our literature. You know, I used to do transplants myself. We see it in some of our literature that speaks out against this. They have no recourse. They can deny it all they want to, but the facts are the facts, just like COVID, but that's a whole different issue. But again, going back to the fact that they have no moral structure. They do not believe in a sovereign entity. They have nothing to stand on. They again do whatever is most facile to push the ideals or lack thereof of the communist regime.
Now, last month you introduced a resolution urging the United Nations to end special treatment of China. They'll do whatever they have to do to get on top.
Yeah. Lie, cheat, steal, bribe. You know, I've been traveling around. I'm on the trade subcommittee for Ways and Means. And, you know, part of our job is to travel down, promote trade. We go to certain parts of Africa where it's known that the Chinese show up with literally suitcases of money to buy off what are folks that is a hell of a lot of money for them. But that's how they work. An American business interest says, we're not interested in doing that. We're not going to do these type of things. But they have bribed and conjured and pushed so many other countries into their sphere of influence. It's a very, very difficult battle that we will continue and have to continue to fight. They work on a different moral team, and it's very, very difficult to challenge them on that.
And they're aggressive at it. I mean, their Belt and Roads initiative, what they're going into these third world countries to get the rare minerals, earth minerals, and they're taking advantage of folks. How do we compete with that?
Yeah, it's hard, Tony. It's very, very hard. I met with a mineral company when I was in a southern African country. They're doing it the right way. They come in and say, look, we are not going to bribe anybody. We're going to conduct business. And truth be told, I met with one, I won't say it, one country leader down in the South there, and we're talking about the Chinese influence, how to combat the Chinese influence. And he said, well, let me tell you this. First and foremost, my citizens say, I belong to this country. This is what's most important. But then he says, one thing they never say is they never say, I want to be Chinese. So the counterpart of that is many of them say, I would love to be an American. They still emulate, they still put us in high regards. That's hard, though, when folks are showing up with suitcases full of money to bribe them in very, very poor countries. We have to continue to say democracy, and this is the ideal for which you should strive.
Yeah, Dr. Murphy, good point, because as you're talking about earlier, China has no moral foundation from which to operate. They might win, appear to be winning in the short term, but the staying power is with a solid foundation, and that's why America cannot deviate from what has made us an exceptional nation. And that is that foundation of biblical truth and morality. Dr. Murphy, I want to thank you for joining us. Always great to hear your insights. Appreciate
Thank you so much, Tony. God bless.